What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new live stream, or just a review in general. So I'm talking Walking Dead. The Walking Dead just ended right now, and I just finished watching it. And let's just talk about this show for a second. Let me get my everything going so far. But overall, what did I think about this show? Let me make sure this is all going. All right, looks like it sounds all good. So pretty much, I don't know who's gonna join in. If you guys are joining in, awesome. If you could join in during the live stream, that's great. If you're not, awesome. If you catch this later, make sure to comment down below and tell me your guys' thoughts of The Walking Dead Season 8, the finale, the review. This is going to be totally spoilers. I just want to get right into detail. It's kind of hard to really review a show without it being, like, not being spoilers-like. So we're going to get into spoilers. That's what it's going to be. I was going to do this actually edited, but I thought, you know what? It's Walking Dead. This is a show I've been going back and forth on. I really just kind of fell out of love with it. I feel like its peak was really 3, 4, and 5 were the peaks for the season, the show in general. And then the last season really disappointed me overall. You know, I'm a big comic book fan of The Walking Dead in general. This is one of my favorite shows to watch on its off time, and I love absolutely watching The Walking Dead. So going into the season, I had a lot of expectations, especially how the last one ended. I was very much hoping for something good. And going into the season, I will say the first half of this season was very disappointing. Overall, I'm like looking at the seasons, and I think in the first half of season 8, I only liked maybe like 2 out of the 3 episodes. I thought there was a lot of missed chances, a lot of missed opportunities in the show in the first half. But the thing that really turned around the whole show for me is the second that we got back to the whole show, the second we came back from our mid-season finale, what we came back to is something that was special and something unique and something that actually made me really happy. The show, the action in the first half felt very generic and just not there. Really, the only episode I liked in the beginning was the King one, where, or some guy, that one, where it shows Ezekiel and it shows him losing Shiva, the tiger. I mean, that tiger was awesome, and that whole episode really meant something to me. There were some good action beats and moments in here, but overall the action just felt really meaningless in the first half, and nothing significant to me happened. But as the next season came about, the next back half of the show really, for me, worked out in a lot of different ways that I didn't expect it to. A lot of it worked out to be a better ending up show that made me happy. It made me, every episode didn't feel like a filler episode. Every episode, something was happening. The action didn't feel meaningless. It actually felt like it was choreographed right. And it just seemed like the whole show had shifted into the right direction, which in the end made me happy. With that said, we go into the very last episode, Wraith. This is the season finale. This is mostly what I'm going to base like a lot of this on, because a lot of this has been building up. Redeeming character arcs for Eugene. How's it going to end with Negan? How's the all-out war scene? Because for a little bit, I was worried that they weren't going to finish all-out war. I was very worried that they weren't going to finish all-out war. I would have been very pissed, because I feel like the show should just be 10 episodes each. It should not be 16. They drag out stuff. This season, it could have easily been, you could have easily ended all-out war in the first half, and you didn't. I feel like this back half should have just been the first half, but that didn't happen. So I'm just going to talk about what happened. And Wraith, or Wrath, sorry. I'm so bad. It's really late here. But I ended up liking it. It was a solid season finale. Did I expect more shit to happen? Absolutely. Everything building up, you think there's going to be more deaths, you think there's going to be more stuff, but in the end of the day, it all went in Rick's way, in Rick's direction, the way it should have gone. And a lot of stuff happened. I'm really just going to talk about the big moments. There is one thing, though, I want to rant about that I am actually, like, physically pissed off about, which is the way that they took Maggie Jesus's and Daryl's character right at the end, trying to add that little twist. I do not remember that happening in the comics. I do not, because, of course, when Rick slits Negan's throat, which for a second I was like, oh shit, did they actually kill him? I remember in the comics, but did they actually kill him? But they didn't. They ended up not killing him. Rick said stitch him up, let's patch him up, and Maggie starts crying. You know, I get Maggie's point of view on that whole aspect. I get her reaction to being pissed, but it's like you also got to look at Rick's. But the thing that comes to the conclusion is Maggie saying that Rick and Michonne are going to have to pay, with Jesus and Daryl saying, yeah, they will. The time will come. And for me, it comes down to the point of being, why are we doing this? Why are we having this? Because your characters aren't like that. It was just so out of left field. It's more like, I feel like they would talk to Rick and Michonne, not just kind of betray them. I don't know where they're going to take that storyline into the next season, but that kind of rubbed me wrong. That thing made this whole episode really fall short for me, and I didn't like that they had to already leave a big oh, this is what we're going to have to do for next season. You didn't need that in this episode. You didn't need that. We just needed the hopefulness. That's what the season was building up to, and it really left that hopefulness kind of gone. It gives me more purpose. Kill off Daryl. Honestly, I love Daryl. I love Norman Reedus, but it just really that rubbed me wrong. Maggie, I have to see where they play it out. But if it turns out to be kind of like trying to betray him, no. Like, you guys in the comics, we got more stuff coming forward. Do not worry about this at all. But besides that point, I actually liked the season finale. It was fine. It was nice seeing Eugene get his redeeming arc. Thank God. It was amazing, that scene. It was a shocking moment. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought the people from Oceanside were going to come up. But they did come up and save Tara after a little bit, burn those people's body. That was nice to see. But it was cool to see the guns just boom, 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 just kablooey, just like Eugene says. I really like that scene, and especially after seeing the vomit thing and finally getting redemption for Eugene. It had to be a big moment like that. We finally got it. I was glad to see that, and just that was nice character arc right there. The vomiting was, after that last episode, I was like, yep, nope, there's no redeeming quality for him, but apparently there was. So I like that whole aspect of it, and just like I said, I think the one thing I'd wanted more was deaths. I thought that was building up to more deaths in general, and we didn't lose anyone. Rick's team got it the best way they could, and in the end of the day, like, I liked the season. The season was fine. It was definitely better than last season. The back half of the season really saved the season, because this season was projecting down for me, but it started projecting up. I'm happy with what they did with All Out War. I know the season got renewed, and I'm excited to see that, but my thing with the next season is that I really want to get into what I want to happen to the next season, what I'm going to talk about. You know, I really want it to be, I want them to time jump this show. They need to time jump this show way ahead of time. I'm saying at least 2-3 years ahead of time. Show where society's gotten these characters. Show where they've gotten, that they lived in peace and harmony. I have a worry with that whole Maggie ending that they're not going to, but we just have to see. And I have lots of hope for this show going forward. Overall, lots of hope going forward. I have lots of things that I hope to see in this Walking Dead show. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just more of, don't follow the comics too hardly. If you don't need to, not everything needs to be in there. And I think this whole Negan storyline has totally shown that. When the governor part came up, they would adapt some things, but wouldn't adapt the full thing. When Negan came up, they adapted everything, tried almost adapting everything, and kind of would drift off to some parts with the whole Carl dying and stuff. But in the end of the day, they didn't do it correctly, in my opinion. And I feel like, again, this show either has two things. They need to shorten it to 10 episodes. 10, 12 episodes would be perfect for this show, not 16. No filler episodes. Or you go down to this other aspect, and this is probably the easiest aspect I would probably say out of the whole genre, is not just that. You don't adapt. You adapt some things. You adapt the storylines that are loved, but you don't stay on them for so long. You move forward. You live them out. Don't drag shit out. And that's what the show's been doing for a while now. So, I have hope for Walking Dead. I have love for the Walking Dead show. I hope to see this Walking Dead show project and keep projecting forward. I hope that Maggie storyline doesn't... I hope it gets resolved very soon. I'm not trying to drift into that and just... It really just... That whole thing pissed me off. I do not need that into the show with everything that just happened. But I'm glad Negan survived. I like Negan's character. I like to see where they go. This show is still in my top 10. I still like enjoying watching the show. It's kind of become a guilty pleasure. I hope the next season can bring back those levity, those elevated moments. Because it really, if you go back and rewatch this show, it is such a completely different show. But in the end of the day, I still enjoy watching this show. I'm going to keep watching it until they really lose me. This last back half season saved me. And seriously, the characters in here, the performances are great. I think this show really, I think this episode really was very well done. I just think it would have been better as a mid-season finale, not a finale in general. So overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys like this episode. I want to hear about your down below. So make sure to comment down below and tell me what your guys' thoughts are of The Walking Dead. That's the most important thing here. And I just want to start a lively discussion with you guys. So let's keep this up, guys. If you're still on The Walking Dead train, let's talk about it down below. If you're not, awesome. Totally fine with me. But other than that, guys, you guys are all the best. And I can't wait to hear from you guys. Look out for more videos soon. And as always, stay classy.